Well, I'm back after the first stream died today. It's still February 11th, so I'll have to combine those two streams. And this one is not doing so well either. So I'm going to do an internet connection test. Yeah, not sure what's going on. My download speeds are really good, but I mean, that doesn't affect the stream. It's all the upload speeds. Yeah, my upload speed is just awful. Yeah, I'm back, Thinker. I'm doing a internet speed test, and my upload speeds are terrible right now. I'm not sure why. Well, everything's showing green right now, so let's just continue on, see what we can get done today. Yeah, try our best. Get something done. Progress, not perfection. Okay. So working on really the edges out here of either side, because after coming back to it today, I didn't really like the overall shape of the head and where the light was going. So, and then, also realizing that these stripes need to be put back in a lot of places. And I'm going to be going off of a little bit more off of this tiger at the bottom, our older tiger. So I'm changing up a location of one or two of these stripes right here as well. I'm starting to feel like, well, I have been feeling like this for several streams, is, not getting a lot done, just lots of consistent changes that I'm doing. So the progress is slow. It's kind of a thing that, we run into as artists. We could fiddle with something for forever to try and make it, awesome, the best we can do. And, we're going for perfection rather than just treating the painting itself as progress. See, there's like a progression per day and then a progression over an entire painting as well. And understanding that, each painting is a progression of your understanding of art in general is important. And yeah, I'm going to try not to get too deep into the perfection aspect anymore. I'm going to put in some of these stripes, bring a couple other ones back up from where they were before, like over here. And then after that, I'm gonna, let's see, is that enough? Does that look pretty good with those stripes? Yeah, one small adjustment over here. Add a little bit more light in there. And then I like these grays that I've been adding in for the stripes whenever, they're hitting light in some way. Just add some variation to them. Looks really nice. I could probably lighten it up just a bit more. Is it a good strategy to work on a different element of the painting for a while, i.e. the rock, the background, and then come back to the tiger? Yeah. A lot of times, I mean, you can use multiple paintings to keep motivation up and things like that. That's why I use multiple paintings. But as you said that, I was thinking, wow, you can kind of use that within, one painting. Especially if it's a long-term painting, you move around to different places within the painting. I want to work on this for a bit. I want to work on that for a bit. But with everything, it gets into this kind of, you have to be careful. Finish all the paintings that you're working on. Like, take them to a finish. If you started it, try and finish them. I've done that way too many times where I've started a painting and I haven't finished it. And then even within a painting, you could run into the same thing where you're jumping around so much that you're not finishing anything. I think the preference there, or in my opinion, it's always my opinion here, the kind of metric to go off of is, where does your interest lie? Where are you motivated? Where do you have the most energy for at any point in time? And, even with a caveat within that, because a lot of times you won't have energy for things that really you need to work on. So there's an understanding within that as well. So if it's like, I'm just tired of painting this tiger's head right now. I know I have a lot more work to do on it that I want to get done. Let's move to the background just to help out with motivation, just to get something different going. But honestly, I'm still super interested in getting this tiger head to where it needs to be. Yeah, no buffering so far. That's the second time that has happened where I have, I'm crazy buffering and then I have to reset my router, and then everything's fixed. I blame Comcast. That's who my company is, unfortunately. Wish I could afford like a fiber connection. I wouldn't have to worry about anything. Okay, back to our favorite hairbrush. The hairbrush. Okay, let's get into some lighter colors over here, but I need to be careful because I don't want them too light. I mean, really, there's two ways I can go here. I can lighten up all of this, but I feel like we're hitting the extremes of all of the values on the top up here, top of the forehead. I mean, to bring the forehead forward and these sides back. But I think the best option is if I go into these whites, I'm going to gray them down a lot more and darken it a lot more. So I'm looking at this one tuft of hair. Probably can't see my cursor. So right here, this tuft of hair. And I'm going to see what it looks like when I just work on that one a little. Oops, too much. It's tough when you're going against what you see. It's kind of like you learn how to see through photos. and you're working from photos and everything, and you're like, oh, okay, I got this art thing down. And then you realize, you know, none of these photos are capturing what I actually want to communicate. And so you have to start working on things out of your head, out of your memory. And then you get into, you know, form, perspective, all of these necessary things that you need in order to build something from your head, from your memory, from your imagination. And, you know, just like learning how to work from photos, something like that takes years. Well, it takes time. I don't want to say exactly years because it would take me years. Because I only have like a couple hours a day. But if you have the motivation to put in, you know, 4 or 5 hours a day without getting burned out over time, you can progress really quickly. Yeah, this area right here needs to darken up. So I'm going to select this color and just change the value of it. Just bring the value down. I'll probably intensify it a bit. Usually when I turn things into shadow, I like to also intensify. I'm pretty sure that there's, you know, lots of books on that about why that's important. I can't remember anything off the top of my head. Just kind of keeping it loose as well. Not going for perfection anymore. I haven't been doing that for a while, but really kind of pushing the looseness now. And you know, with that, just, you know, how do you keep things loose? You just kind of don't care a little bit more. Move further away from trying to get things to look exactly like the photo, right? And get this dark green. I'm going to put a dark green back here. Am I on the right layer? Yeah, I'm good. I know what this area needs. It needs a nice dark purple. Oh yeah. Oops, not that one. It's so funny. Sometimes I'll put a stroke down and I'm like, wow, okay, that did not work. Like instantly, it kind of, you know, going back to the analogy of music, it's kind of it's like a note that someone just played that's completely off key and wrong. Just instantly tells you, no, don't do that. Okay, let's see if we turn that forehead around now. I think so. I think that looks a lot better. I think this one stripe is a bit too, like the darkness of it is too, I don't know, contrived maybe. Let's do this. Let's switch to this brush. And what I want out of this brush is these kind of, just like we did in the ears, you know, these, kind of like when you get gray hair. Oh, it's saying something about the bitrate on my stream. Oh, it looks fine. Anyway. So we have these kind of weird hairs that come out. If you have gray hair, and I think Thinker, maybe you have gray hair. Oh, good morning, Ashton Howard. Thanks for joining. But when you get gray hair, these gray hairs are annoying because they do this thing where they just go like that and they just poke out. If anything indicates that this is an older tiger, it would be these kind of weird gray hairs that just, you know, and they're going to hit the light a little bit more. They're just kind of jumping out at you saying, hey, look, you're old. Hey, you're old. You're getting older. And I'm not going to do what you want me to do. How are you going to handle the bright white at the bottom half of the face jaw? It's not going to be bright white. Remember the password? What's the password? A banana on the lawn at midnight is not yellow. It's in shadow. So it's not going to be there. It's not going to be bright white. It's going to be like a grayish green. We're going to darken it all up. It probably won't change much from where it is right now. You know, it's getting some kind of light. What I can do is right here in this muzzle, I could probably brighten that up a bit. Not that much. Let's darken that up a bit. So like right up in here to really emphasize the turn of form a little bit more. Back way up. Come on, Chris. You're getting too deep into the details. Yeah, let's go a little bit brighter on these top ones. It's going to be fun putting in the whiskers as well. That's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah, that added so much. These kind of just weird hairs that just jump out. More texture. More texture. I mean, there's these really cool... I mean, that's the lion's whiskers, right? These kind of weird hairs that jump out. What tablet am I using? I'm using the XP 24-inch Pro. And it's really nice. I got it for around $500. Wait for the sale on the XP Pen website. And I don't even use the buttons on the right and the left for the Pro version. So if you can get the non-Pro version for a good price, you know, right around $500, go for it. Jump in that right away. Unless, you know, the one thing you want to have to look at on that is the connections for it, because I think the Pro version has USB-C, but the non-Pro version does not. So it depends on what computer you're going to run your pen tablet. Oh, by the way, it's a pen tablet. So you need to have a computer for it. It doesn't run on its own. I just recently got into digital drawing, so I went with a cheap Huion drawing pad. Yeah, that's fine. I had this old iPad, and here's what I did. Because I couldn't justify spending, you know, $500 or $600, you know, after shipping on a new tablet when I was just, you know, getting used to digital, right? My wife was like, right, okay, no, you can't. And I'm like, well, but it's, you know, I really want to get into this digital thing. And she said, I tell you what, do this. If you're really interested in it, and I would suggest this for you as well, because this is about habit and about understanding of yourself a bit more. Use the cheap Huion, right? Or whatever cheap thing that you had. I had an old iPad. It was like a version 2 iPad or something like that. I don't know. It's really old. With an Apple Pencil. No, maybe not a version 2. Anyway, it was old. And I said, I'm going to be using this every day for 30 days. Doing some kind of digital art on it. I took it to Life Drawing. I took it to other places, really trying it out. I did buy Procreate, which is really good, by the way. There's some other free softwares on there as well. Adobe Fresco is really good. But I was on Procreate for a month, and I said, if I continue with this, and if I could do this for a month, that would be a really good indication. Like after a month, I'm still into it, that I could purchase, a more expensive tablet or pen tablet. And that's what I did. And I'm still into it. It's really kind of testing the waters more than anything. Because there's a tendency, especially in our society today, to just go out and buy, and then all of a sudden it sits in the closet. And this is why the storage industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry. People buy too many things that they don't need. They just store it. So, but I feel like as a college student, and considering how fast I'm progressing, I'd like to get a Huion display tablet. Oh, one that kind of, when you say a display tablet, you mean one that has an operating system within inside of it, so you can work on it without a computer connection. I think that's what you mean. Yeah, I mean, tell me, what are you... So you're in college. Awesome. Great job. Cool. What are you going for? Like, what is your future? What do you want to do? Because if you tell me fine art, I'm going to say, don't bother with the tablet. Well, maybe. I don't know. I'll maybe take that back. Yeah, tell me what you're planning on. What's your major? How far are you into college as well? Are you still in the awful prereq stage, first, second year? Or are you in your fourth year, third or fourth year, actually getting into the real stuff that you really want to learn? It's good. Sorry to hit you up with all the questions, Ashton, but I actually went into the T-Mobile store the other day because I was looking to buy an iPhone from them because I have T-Mobile, and one of the guys there, he was like, hey, yeah, I'm going to college and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh, what are you... And he was, going into like IT and stuff. And I was like, dude, sit there and talk for him for an hour, giving him some ideas on how he can make it as a web or IT professional. I know a little bit about that. I manage a $500,000 team for a company, so I feel like I have some expertise in that field. I'm a printmaking major and I'm classified as a sophomore, but I'm technically a junior. Oh, printmaking. I loved printmaking. Intaglio, or actually what I loved most was lithograph, the big stones. I really enjoyed that, but that's like a dying art. You can't get those printed anywhere. Good luck on that. Putting the big stones around. What is your plan to do with printmaking in the future? I switched my major a couple of times. I love all mediums of art, but enjoy printmaking a lot. Printmaking is a lot of fun. But I'm wondering where its application will lie for you in the future. Oh man, I'm getting into like the future stuff of your life. Sorry. I apologize for that. I don't like digital. At your age, you're probably, 20 years old now. Maybe 21, 22. Oh gosh, I can't remember, so long ago. If I went back in time, the one thing that I would tell my younger self is to buy a computer earlier and get deeper into it. Because I didn't buy my first computer until 2000, back in AOL times, right? Thought the internet was AOL. So that being said, as far as digital is concerned, I would say keep it inexpensive, but go for it. I'd like to just teach with art, with an art degree, to be honest, because it's a safe option. I have to kind of pick my words wisely here. Because I think at this point in your life, if you're anything like I was, which probably not, because we're two different people, and I can give you my suggestions as far as future and tech and things like that, but just always understand that these are my suggestions. A complete stranger that you don't know, that has some history with it. So you're your own person, make your own decisions, definitely. If there's one piece of advice I can give you, I would say always do what you love. And you're like, what the hell does that mean? Why are you telling me that? How's that going to help me pick a degree or get better at art or whatever? That's kind of like the basis for getting better at everything. And what does that have to do with this conversation? Whatever I say, if it's like completely against what you love right now, don't go for it. Right? Go for it. Any words you use won't hurt me. I get told off by my professors all the time. So don't I know that? They're like, you gotta be doing this and you gotta be doing that. Let me tell you this. Like, I went to the Art Institute of Chicago, which at the time was a prestigious school. Very fine art related. Okay. And this was back in early 90s. And it was my first, like, I left Kentucky to go up there, right? Idiot kid, first time in college, just had more fun and failed more classes than anything. And it was freaking expensive. I paid those loans off until I was like 30. It was ridiculous. Wasted a lot of time up there. I could have taken so much more advantage of it. But it was a fine art degree. Okay, they taught fine art, which I have never used in the entirety of my life. So I really didn't get a degree from there because I couldn't afford it. I went for a couple years, and then, don't worry, I'm going to make a point on this. And then I went back to school 10 years later to a university. I was living in Florida at the time. I went to University of Central Florida 10 years later. And here, I had a business that I had ran of murals, where I was doing murals for years and actually made my money as doing murals in Florida for interior decorators and all kinds of other people, individuals that wanted me to do, paint their sons, whatever, on their wall. Really hated it. But going back to school after that amount of time away, And actually being in the workforce for a while, making my way as an entrepreneur for a little bit was eye-opening. Seeing school in a completely different route. And let me tell you this, college is a business, and they're there to get your money, okay? They teach people a lot of great things, but their main purpose is the same as Amazon, McDonald's, whatever other big businesses out there. There's kind of like understanding, like people go, no, colleges are there to help you. No. It's why you have those big auditorium classes if you're in a university, and you probably see that too. Especially when you're dealing with art, because they have to have these big cash cow courses where it's required and everybody has to go. Even though it's just complete BS, they use that to make money, and they need it because they're a business, right? If they want an art program, they have to do that. But the other thing that I think that is most detrimental, and this will affect your thoughts on being a teacher, is teachers will get into either a high school, grade school, or college level courses, depending on what if you have a master's or just a doctorate or whatever. But they will get into these, and they will spend the rest of their lives in this job because they can't get any other one, and they're lucky to have gotten that one. Because when I left college and left Florida, that's what I was going for, was teaching. And the harsh realization was no one's leaving their positions. I mean, I was looking at, you're looking at teachers and things that are people that have been in the job for 30 years and they're comfortable and they stay there. And you have to wait for people to actually either retire or pass away for you to have an opportunity. So if you're thinking about teaching, I would look at that right now. Act as if you're already have a master's degree or a doctorate degree or whatever, and see what jobs are available. But the most detrimental thing about college courses and college professors is they've been in this bubble for so long that they don't really understand how art functions, or the necessity of art and the outside world, except in certain scenarios. For example, you go to Art Center in California. Maybe you're at Art Center in California, and then I'm jealous of you because I would have loved to go to Art Center. These kind of places where their purpose is to teach you art within the industry, they are getting you ready for industry standards and for jobs in the industry. Okay. And then it's just depending on how hard you're going to work to get good, right? They prepare you for the real industry in a lot of ways. So you have to really kind of look. I mean, if you're at a basic university somewhere like University of Central Florida, yeah, I have that degree, a bachelor's degree, and guess what? I work in the tech industry. I'd like to be a full-time artist, but it's really hard, especially during a recession when it's not very important. I agree, because I don't understand why I have to take some classes that simply have nothing to do with art. Yeah, it's well, part of it is we need to make the money in order to stay open so that we can provide art classes. So, it's not bad. It's like part of business, okay? If you're a business professional, you'll understand that these things need to happen. But the one thing I will say is, probably, like the most detrimental is that idea of, teachers that think they know the industry when they haven't been in it for decades. Kind of like, and especially the tech industry. of art, I mean, it changes a yearly basis, faster than that. So really, I love printmaking. Printmaking's a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun doing it. As a junior, sophomore, wherever you're at, the best thing you can do right now is when you pick something that you love, see where the industry is within that at the moment. Like, okay, so I want to be a printmaker. Let's start hunting for jobs right now. Don't wait. Start hunting for jobs right now. Apply for jobs. You're thinking, well, I don't even have a degree. I have no experience. It doesn't matter. What matters is that you get an understanding of what's out there and your possibilities. Okay? That's the most important, because you may pick a quote-unquote major. Basically, it's what you want to focus on. You may pick a major that 20 years down the road, or even 3 or 4 years down the road, when you get out of school, you say the same thing that I heard so many other kids say at the time when I graduated. They had spent 4 years in a university, $100,000 average. And I asked them, so what are you going to do? They say, I don't know. I have no idea. And then this was a university that didn't, like, the painting teacher, she was wonderful, abstract artist, but had no idea about drawing, perspective, value, color, the fundamentals of art. I was a better draftsman and better painter than she was. And she couldn't even describe what I was doing, right? Because I worked on it. And this was the university I was in. And I'm sorry, but especially right now with the way the galleries are, because I looked into getting into galleries and things like that, and it's like, it just doesn't make any sense. I did a lot of math, a lot of like real world math. Like, okay, what would I have to sell to make what we need to make ends meet? And it was like, oh, I would either have to sell, 100 paintings a month, small paintings, or one $4,000 painting a month. And it was like, yeah, that's just not going to happen. That's not going to happen. So kind of getting close to the reality right away, I think would be really good for you. But yeah, I'm talking a lot. I'm sorry. I'd rather take every art class that's offered than go to Spanish again. Oh my God. Spanish and French. I think I failed both of those like 4 times before I got a C, and I was like, thank God, and I ran out of that class. Yeah, sorry to make it all negative for you on that. It's just, art is a hard field. It is to get it's a bit too light. Art is a difficult field to get a consistent, livable wage in. Unless, and you probably know this, you probably know all about ArtStation already. And if you're into digital, you're probably at this site all the time. And if you're not, I would suggest that this is your how can I explain this? Like, this site should be your example of where you want to achieve, right? These are the masters for any digital artist right now. I mean, and honestly, you can pull up this page and then just open up all of these images, because these are the top images that people are looking at all the time, and study just all these images, no matter what they are, and figure out how to be as good as all of these guys. And you've made it in the digital industry, for movies, for conceptual art, for video games, for playing cards, for books, book covers, a comic book, things like this. This is the digital industry. And here's how these people are so good. And lots of Asian individuals as well. They're so good because they are professionals. Principal illustrator at Riot Games. Let me break it down to you. There's one determining factor of why everyone is good at anything. Time and effort. Time and effort. Look at this. This amazing person is giving you the layouts that they tried. Look at these sketches are freaking amazing. And then probably a YouTube video. Look at this, of the entire process. All the sketches. See, I'm gonna like this. I'm gonna add it to my collection, where I have a collection called Process. Add to collection. And I collect these things because if I need to know anything, I'm not going to go to a book anymore. Books are old school. Well, this guy person is trying to get a lot of ad revenue as well. But this is where it's at. They get good because they got into the industry and they're working 8 hours a day on it. That's how they're good. Back in the day, I'm looking at John Singer Sargent, I'm looking at Soroya, I'm looking at all of these artists that worked in the industry at the time. And they got good because they were getting commissions every day, they had to show up for work every day, and they had to spend 8 hours, 10-hour days on nothing but art, right? Nothing but art. That's how you get good. So align yourself in an industry that can give you that eventually, and make sure it's something that you love to do. I'm always going to preach that. Oh, you're not even on ArtStation. Okay, yeah, dude. Oh my gosh, Ashton. ArtStation, man. It is a constant source of motivation for me. I mean, I'm just getting started digitally as well. I'm more a traditional artist, but they go back and forth. There's a lot of traditional artists on there. They're just absolutely amazing. But yeah, you have to be on ArtStation. But be careful. Be careful. Because you could get on ArtStation and you could get into this negative mindset of you'll never get good, you'll never be the best. They're so good. They're so far ahead of me. How am I ever going to get this good? Right? You can get into this negative mindset. Whenever you feel yourself going down that route, which will happen. I'm not saying if it's going to happen. I'm going to say when it does happen for you. Say to yourself, you know what? I'm on a ladder. So let me make this really bright for you. I'm going to illustrate. Here's your ladder, Ashton. Okay? And maybe you're right down here at the bottom of your ladder. Well, the other artists you're looking at, they're over on this ladder. Okay? And maybe they're way up here. But you have no idea where they started, how long they've been climbing, or how much time they can spend day to day just on their artwork. So when you're looking at a person that's way up here, and you're allowing that vision in your head to determine who you are, yeah, it's way off. Don't judge yourself by someone else's position on their ladder, okay? So anytime you look at ArtStation, be careful that you don't get into that mindset. Always look at them as, here's the best way to look at it. Wow, if they've done it, I can do it too. Because all it takes is time and effort. That is the one, over my 47 years, that is the one thing that has constantly proven true. And heck, Thinker's on here. Chime in, Thinker. What do you think? I know he's thinking right now. It's in his name. Ashton says, definitely understand. I've been down that route of negativity before. That's why college has a struggle. Was a struggle in the beginning. As someone who didn't get into art until after I graduated high school, I was behind. But now I don't compare myself, and I just aspire to get better and have fun, enjoy the process. Yes. Progress, not perfection. Every single day, always do what you love, no matter how hard it is for you. If you always do what you love, the 8 hours, the 10 hours, the 20 hours, or no, 20 hours a day, please don't do that. It would be unhealthy. All the time you put in every day will seem like you're not even working, honestly. And that's what you want. You want a combination of what you love to do, what people want, and what provides you money. It's a Venn diagram. So you know what a Venn diagram is. Oh, I need to make this light again. So you have 3 circles. Okay. Hopefully I can do this right. Oh, I didn't get the center of them right. I could use Krita to make some amazing circles. There you go. And I can switch to this brush. So see what you love to do, what people want, and what brings you money, because you need that money, right? You want to be in that center. What you love to do is one of the biggest parts of that. The money is really a necessity, honestly, and what people want. So want, like changing their lives, helping them out, giving them some art that they love, you know, all this kind of stuff. If you're in the middle of there, you're never going to work a day. You're going to make a lot of money, and you're going to enjoy your life, every single moment of it. And you're going to make a lot of people happy if you can get into that the center of that Venn diagram. It hit me so hard. I took a break from college after my first year. Super down spiral. Yeah, I could see that, man. Yeah, hang in there. If you're still feeling it, hang in there, dude. You got this. You'll get there. It just takes time and effort. Just like being in a major sport anywhere, time and effort. If you're not good and you look at someone else and they're just so good, see that as a possibility that someone has been there and you can do it. It's a universal thing. Talent has nothing to do with it. Talent is a fixed mindset. If you like reading, I would highly suggest Mindset by, I want to say Kelly McGonigal, but that's not right. Oh, geez. It's a really good book. I have to look it up for you. Thinker says, I think that is great advice. College these days is highly overrated. Yes, super overrated. I'm literally just in college because my parents, all parents are big on education, Ashton. They're trying to help. The idea is, when I grew up, you needed education. You needed to go to college. You need to get this understanding. It's supposed to prepare you for the real world. Well, that died years ago, unfortunately. But here's a caveat to that. If you're going to be a lawyer, a surgeon, a teacher, you need to have an education, because you have to have a master's degree for education. You have to have a master's degree to be a surgeon or a lawyer. These kind of things, they're necessary. If you're going to be an entrepreneur, get out of college right away. You're wasting your time. If you're going to be a fine artist, get out of college. Take all that money. Say, I tell you what, Mom and Dad, the $100,000 that you'll be paying in loans and things, give me that money now. And I'm going to invest it in, entrepreneurial concerns. But you have to be pretty savvy. And at 21, 22 years old, it's going to be really tough for someone to invest a lot of money into you. You have to be down, you have to have already had kind of like a lot of hard knocks and ups and downs, get some experience in a lot of ways. My sister is a nurse, brother is into the business side of things, and I'm just me. I had to learn not to compare myself. Yes, that reminds me of a wonderful book, and I've repeated this before, by Srinivas Rao, and it's called Audience of One. Really good book. Highly, highly, highly recommend that book for any artist. Audience of One by Srinivas Rao. In that book, his sister, because he's a successful author, he's got a brother, I think, that is like, a doctor, and someone else is a lawyer, and he's got another sister that's like trying to find her way. And she tried being an author, she tried being a lawyer, she tried being a doctor. And she failed at all of them because she didn't enjoy them. It wasn't what she wanted to do. And her father set her down and basically said, you know what? Your brothers and sisters are doing this. We don't need more of your brothers and sisters in this world. What we need is more of you. And Ashton, that's what I'm going to tell you. We don't need more of your brothers and sisters. If you try and be them, you'll just be a bad carbon copy. What we need is more of you, who you are. Put more time and effort finding out who you are, what you want to do, and what you love. And I think that's kind of the heart of it all, right? We don't, you look at all the other artists like Bo Chen we were just looking at on ArtStation. We don't need another Bo Chen. Bo Chen's already out there. Don't be a carbon copy of Bo Chen. Don't be a carbon copy of Sargent, of Bierstadt, of any artist you love. Steal from them, yes. Don't copy them. Steal from them, but be more of you. Find who you are. That's what we need in this world. You. Yeah, sorry to go off on that. Take a look at all the people who never went to college or dropped out and were enormously successful. Einstein is quoted as saying, I couldn't think for 2 years after leaving college. Yeah. Yeah, I was a criminal justice major at first and didn't enjoy it. I was failing everything. Granted, I was a horrible student. Yeah. I don't know. What does horrible student mean? I didn't like... when you're not interested and unmotivated into something, it's like, yeah, you're not going to want to learn it, obviously. I think that's kind of like the prerequisites that to real learning and to being great at anything is love for it, right? Not Spanish or French, although, French is a good language. Spanish would be a very, very helpful language. But if you don't love it, don't do it. But now that I'm in art, doing things I enjoy, I pass on even enjoy waking up to go to class. Yes, that's so important. Years and years ago, I would go to, my retail job. I needed to make money, right? And it was, my weekend was over. Was usually my weekends were always split days, so my weekend would be a Monday and Wednesday off. But after I'd wake up the next day and I'd have to go to work after being off, and like you feel that dread in your gut of just getting up to go to work. And you're like, oh, I don't want to do this. Eventually I said, I will never feel that again. If I feel that in any job, I will quit right away. And I did that for years. And that's where it comes back to doing what you love. Always, always, always do what you love. And then your parents will always say, yeah, that's bullshit advice. You have to work hard. You have to do this. How are you going to make money if you're only doing artwork? How do you make money when you only do this? The one way to fail at anything is to not give it the effort it deserves. Regardless of what you're doing, if you are not giving it the effort that it needs for you to be really good at it, you will fail at it. And yes, you could probably push past all of the, I don't want to's, I don't feel like it, I'm not motivated. You'll be unhappy. You'll be successful in what you're doing, and then you'll have to do it more because it's where you make your money. But if you are doing what you love and you can't wait to get up and work at it every single day like I am right now, you will progress exponentially, tremendously fast. And you will align your life with something that you love to do. At first, it will be hard. You won't make the money that you need to survive. You'll have to have a second job. You'll have to, like most artists, you look at my friend Michael Orwick, who's a full-time artist. He does landscape paintings, loves it. He worked in a restaurant for years. Tried to and constantly, put in like 10-hour days of, art, and then have to go to the restaurant to make the money, and then put as much art in as you can every day. And then eventually he was able to make that transition. He walked into, the story was funny. He walked into the restaurant, and he was only working like once in a while at that point because he just kind of needed some extra money because he was making more money at art now. And the restaurant owner, when he walked in, he's like, "Do you work here?" And he looks up and he's like, "You know what? I guess I don't. Thanks a lot." And he left. He never went back. Full-time artist at that point. Yeah, always do what you love. That's the heart of it. As I'm painting this tiger, probably screwing up this tiger royally because I'm talking to you the things. But it's important to me on this to impart some of my subjective wisdom. Okay, your own life, your own decisions. My subjective wisdom from the history that I've had as an artist. Do what you love, then find a way to make money at it, yeah? And the best way to make money at what you love, especially with art, is provide value to others. Don't try and cheat people. Don't try and be bigger than you are. When you create an entrepreneurial business, don't say, "we at this company," when you're a sole owner, right? Don't act bigger than you are, and provide value to people. Get into marketing too. I'm sorry, but marketing, I wish I took some. Well, actually, no, you don't need to take marketing courses. Read books by Seth Godin. Read the books by Derek Sivers. Absolutely fantastic for the marketing for artists, really. Not that kind of crappy marketing that, most of us think that it is. Where it's you're trying to cheat people or get them to buy no matter what, where you're really providing value and making connections. That's what's important. When I took regular classes, aka non-art, a lot of other students are super judgmental. But But like on the art side of campus, everyone is expressive and free. It's always a good time. That is very true. I could see that. That is one cool thing about, you know, this crazy thing called art. It stems from emotion. It stems from thought, education, an idea. You know, being yourself, finding yourself in a lot of ways. I mean, you go to the artist side of any campus, right? And you'll find people with the crazy hair, the crazy clothing, you know, the expressive individuals that are trying to express themselves, that are brave enough to say, this is who I am. And if you don't like it, expletive, right? And I think that's wonderful. But the best is when you can combine that with a an intelligence of self with an intelligence of, for lack of a better word, business, and understanding of the world around you. Yeah, it's great to be really expressive and to know yourself, but it's better to be able to take that into a business or an area where you can provide value to others. You know, add something to this world beyond just being crazy and expressive. And that, you know, it's like that Venn diagram. That combination is hard to come by sometimes, but if you can find it, it's great. Another marathon session. I need to address the other parts of my life. See you tomorrow. Hey, thanks for reminding me, Thinker. Thanks for showing up, Ashton. I appreciate you showing up, both of you for showing up. And thanks for asking the questions. And hopefully I maybe provided you with some helpful understanding, some things to think about. Good luck on this awesome journey of art. Okay. And I wish you the best of luck in whatever you end up doing. And if you have any more questions, let me know. Go to my website, chrisbeaven.com, go to the contact page, and I respond, you know, to everyone with a personal email. I don't get a lot of them right now. Hopefully one day I get too many, and then I'll spend all day answering emails. That'd be kind of fun. Also, if you want all of the downloads for this series, my traditional plus digital series, you can go to my Gumroad channel. You can go to my website, chrisbeaven.com, to get there, or the link in the description below. It's $10. We're up to 41. Today's like 41 different days of resources added to there. Tomorrow I'm going to be updating it. It's up to 39 on the Gumroad. But it's $10 if you want half off, because you're a student, because you're an artist, because I know how it is to be an artist that doesn't have a lot of money. Use CB50 off and get it for $5. That way you can have access to all of the digital downloads, everything that I provide within this entire live stream that's going to be continuing on for a while. Yeah. Appreciate it. And that's it for me today. I will see you guys tomorrow.